Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, the man accused of carrying out the Finsbury Park terror attack claimed today a man called Dave had actually been responsible. Giving evidence in his trial, Darren Osborne said he and two men were initially hoping to kill the Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn, and the London Mayor, Sadiq Khan. But he denies driving the van that killed one Muslim worshipper and injured 9 others. Here's our security editor, Rohit Kachru.
Darren Osborne, moments after the Finsbury Park attack. He tells police that he lost control of his van.
Don't know, lost control of the van. Huh? Lost control.
Today, after more than a week of prosecution evidence, he took the stand at his trial. Jurors have already been shown video of worshippers helping an elderly man who'd collapsed. A white van mowed them down. But Darren Osborne says he wasn't the driver. Mr. Osborne was asked, "Were you the driver of the van?" He said, "No." "Did you know who was the driver of the van?" he was asked. "A guy called Dave," he said. "Do you know Dave's other name?" "No, I do not."
The 9 men have been released on bail.
He admitted discussing this BBC drama about grooming gangs with Dave and another man called Terry. Mr. Osborne said he was in the footwell of the van while Dave was driving, adding he had no idea where Dave went after the collision. Darren Osborne says he specifically chose this area, Finsbury Park, because it's part of the constituency of the Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn. He said that he originally planned to drive to a pro-Palestinian rally in London, but eventually looked for mosques, quote, to cause a bit of a stir. Referring to the Al-Quds march, prosecutor Jonathan Rees asked, "Were you hoping that you would have an opportunity to attack Jeremy Corbyn and kill him?" "Oh yeah," Osborne replied. After a pause, he added, "It would be one less terrorist off our streets." He went on, "If Sadiq Khan had been there, it would have been even better. It would have been like winning the lottery." The prosecution say Darren Osborne was behind the wheel the day after visiting this pub in Cardiff. They say Dave and Terry were totally fabricated to deflect responsibility. Rohit Kachru, ITV News.
The man accused of driving a van through Muslim worshippers outside a London mosque has denied he was behind the wheel. Darren Osborne denies injuring 9 people and killing a 51-year-old man in Finsbury Park last June. But he told a court that he and 2 others had originally planned to target the Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn. Porrick O'Brien reports.
Footage shown in court from the 19th of June last year, Finsbury Park, North London, just after midnight. On the left of the screen, a van mounts a pavement just outside the Muslim welfare house and mosque, where a large group of worshippers have gathered. 51-year-old grandfather Makram Ali was killed, many others seriously injured. Today in court, in a written statement, one person on the scene described how the person in the van had shouted, "I will kill all Muslims," 2 or 3 times after getting out. Darren Osborne, who denies charges of murder and attempted murder, began his defence today. Said he was not the driver and said he was trying to target Jeremy Corbyn, whose constituency the mosque is in. Arriving in London from his home in Wales on the 18th of June, court heard that Osborne first headed for the Grosvenor Square area of central London and a pro-Palestinian Al-Quds demonstration there. In court, Osborne said that he first went to Grosvenor Square and the Al-Quds march because he thought Jeremy Corbyn was a regular attendee there. When he found that Jeremy Corbyn wasn't there, he drove around London, he said, ending up here at Finsbury Park. When the lawyer asked why Finsbury Park, Osborne replied, "Because it's Jeremy Corbyn's constituency." The lawyer asked, "Were you trying to target Jeremy Corbyn?" Osborne replied, "Yes." Then the lawyer went on to ask, were you hoping to attack Jeremy Corbyn and kill him? To which Osborne replied, yes, it would have been one less terrorist on our streets. Earlier in the trial, the jury was shown police body camera footage from inside a police van. It shows Osborne after his arrest on the scene. This morning, the officer wearing the camera testified. The footage shows Osborne telling the officer, I lost control of the van.
I lost control of the van. Huh? Lost control.
Asked whether he was driving, he replies in the footage, yes. In court today, Osborne said he hid in the footwell of the van and that someone called Dave was driving. The prosecution say that Dave is a fictitious character. Osborne also denied in court today that he was the driver of the van. Defence barrister Lisa Wilding QC asked him, were you the driver of the van? He replied, no. She replied, did you know the person who was driving the van? He said, yes, his name was Dave. She asked him what was Dave's other name. He said he didn't know. He also went on to say that there was a third person involved in the attack, and when asked who that was, he said a guy I met in a pub called Terry Jones. Later in the cross-examination, Osborne explained that he wanted to set up a Wales-based far-right group, and when asked the name of that group, he said he wanted to call it the Tafia. The family of Makram Ali arriving in court this morning. The cross-examination of Darren Osborne will continue tomorrow.
Porrick O'Brien reporting.